Hi, this is Dr. Stephen with Outclick Magazine. Today, we're excited to bring to you this month's cover story, Jason Hughes, who is the executive director at our very own ArtServe right here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Jason, welcome to today's program.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Very good. Well, first, tell us a little bit about who Jason Hughes is before we jump into ArtServe. Tell us about yourself.
Sure. Yeah. So I lived down here in Fort Lauderdale for about 15 years. Hail from the great country of Canada. Grew up in Toronto, and in Toronto, I multiple kind of careers. I started the world's first LGBTQ television station called Pride Vision TV. Now it's called Out TV. Got the out there, little Canadian accent. So we basically were all over Canada. And it was a really exciting time. It was 2001 and a really exciting time. After that, I started my own magazine, kind of like yours in a way. It was a national magazine aimed at Gen Xers. It was 100 pages, perfect bound. And it was basically a lifestyle magazine for Gen Xers across Canada. And then I was recruited to come down here to Florida to help launch Classical South Florida Radio. It was a nonprofit public radio station here based out of Fort Lauderdale, but we had a signal all throughout from Fort Myers to Palm Beach, all the way down to the Keys. So we've got 3 million people under signal. So that was pretty exciting. And then I've been involved with ArtServe. I was on the board for about 6 years. I was board president for 2 years. I've always loved this organization. Classical South Florida used to sponsor the hall here, sponsored a lot of the events here. So it's always been part of my heart. And then an opportunity came up when the executive director position came up, and I went through the whole process and applied. And the board that used to report to me, now I had to audition for this position, and it was tough. And but it was a great process, and so I was hired, which is great because I know how the board works. I know what the board is looking for because I've worked with these people as well. They're good friends, great friends, and also their expectations I can understand. Now, being on the flip side of it, but on the other side of the door here, being a staff member, it's been wonderful because during the pandemic, I really worked with the team here when the building was closed and we started ArtServe Live. We were one of the first people to do virtual programming as a response to our artists who were, in sheer desperation, depressed. We not making any money. So we had a lot of ArtServe Lives. We did 2 or 3 a week. We did over 100 in total. And that really was a lifeline for us. So I've been now about 1.5 years here at ArtServe in this position of executive director, and I love it. Every single day is different here, and that's what we all like about it.
It's very cool. We've worked with your organization for several years. We know you've helped a lot of people, a lot of groups, public and private, and all kinds of people. I usually start by saying, give us your elevator speech of what ArtServe is. If someone has never heard of ArtServe and you were going to meet them in the elevator, what would you tell them?
Well, I hope it's the World Trade Center because that's how long it takes to explain what the elevator needs to go up 9,500 stories because we do so much here. So ArtServe is a nonprofit 501c3. We're in our 35th year. We're located, our headquarters are at Sunrise and 15th, which is right at the end of Holiday Park here in downtown Fort Lauderdale. But we are a Broward County arts and cultural organization. So we're a 28,000 square foot facility. We are housed by 2 national museums. We have Stonewall National LGBT Archives and Library, and we have the World AIDS Museum, just moved in about 1.5 years ago from Wilton Manors. So it's great to have these 2 national museums bookending our property. There's also a county library, which ArtServe does not manage at all. So within the building, there's also tenants. So we have a below market value space and artist studios and cubicles for nonprofits, some for-profits that are related to arts and culture as well. And then we also have space to rent. We have our gallery space. We have our huge auditorium, holds 200 people. We have the Vienna's business center and different little studios and cubicles that people rent throughout the community for weddings, bar mitzvahs. We have church groups. We have fashion shows, Leadership Broward, Emerge Broward. All these different groups have their events and their fundraisers here or annual meetings. The HOAs in the neighborhood meet here. So what's really interesting about it is people think ArtServe is just sometimes it's just a gallery, or sometimes we always hear, oh, that's where I go to vote. Well, no, we're so much more than that. But speaking of the gallery, what ArtServe has done in the last 1.5 years is it used to be a rental facility in terms of the art that was up in the galleries. And the last 1.5 years, we've been intentional working with our chief curator, Sophie Bonnet, to really be intentional in the exhibits we bring. So our last exhibit was Sue Generous, which is an exploration of identity. Which really brought a really fascinating group of artists from all over South Florida, really talking about what identity means to them. And then, then our exhibit that's on right now, which is Pei Heoki, It's an exploration of the land of grassy water. It's an exploration of the Everglades and the water systems and the Everglades in it. So, I mean, we do different types of things, different types of responses to the community through art and culture. So, for example, this exhibit up right now is fascinating. I mean, just the amount of research and interest in it, because it's something different than we've done. And we're really trying to do different things. And that's what we're pretty excited about.
Very cool. Go ahead. We'll talk about this is a current exhibit, the Land of Grassy Water. Chandler, go ahead. Chandler's helping us in the background as he does. Go ahead and click on that if you want, Jason, and tell us about this exhibit. We want people to come to this. I was at the reception. And one of the things about ArtServe, the breadth of topics that you have is so amazing. We go from coming out day to the grasslands and the Everglades. And so you've got so many areas. Tell us about this one, Jason.
Yeah, well, this is basically an exploration of it's to inspire and to appreciate awareness of the Everglades and of water. I mean, water is our number one natural resource here in South Florida, and there's just such a history and vibrancy about it. And when you look at if you look at the water and you look at the trees and you look at the animals that all are invested in this environment that cradle us, that we depend on, rely on. When you look at the Everglades, you see art, you see visual beauty, if you will. And what we love about this exhibit is our artists that are displaying here, they have this opportunity to reflect upon what they see and what they think and what the future is. One of our exhibitions, I know Dr. Steven, you saw it when you came in, was all the plastic bags hanging in the ceiling. You know, that kind of, when you see that and you stand underneath it, you as a consumer kind of think, geez, that's probably a week of bags that I use. You know, it's thought provoking like that, but it's also art. I mean, if you notice, I don't know, Dr. Steven, if you wouldn't stood underneath it, but I mean, so many people taking pictures of it because it just kind of spoke to people in a way that we hadn't thought before. You know, what if we were surrounded in our air with plastic all around us? Well, that's what the birds and the alligators and all the thousands of animals that live in the Everglades suffer with every day. So it's those kind of discussions that we spark through art. We also really working now on doing more basically panel discussions before the openings and stuff, and during. We do quite a bit virtual as well. And then for this one, we're actually doing a closing exhibition on Friday, June 17th. We haven't done many closing exhibitions lately, but we just feel that a lot of people, there was quite a bit buzz about this exhibit. So we really wanted to kind of just close it off in a really cool way. To your point, and thank you for saying that, we really try to respond to the needs of the community and what we're hearing. Our goal, you can't, as a marketer, for example, you can't tell people what to think. When you market, you have to respond to the needs. You got to find out what is the need. That's a successful business person. When they start businesses, they're responding to what a need is out there. And there's a need for us to have these discussions about our South Florida's number one natural resources, which is water.
Another interesting one you've done for the LGBT community that Art Center has done was the mural at Pride Center at Equality Park. That was really interesting. Chandler, if you can click on that, pull that up. Jason, give us a little bit of information about the mural that you all did.
Yeah, so this was the Pride Center commissioned ArtServe as the manager of this project. So it was we did a call to artists. ArtServe actually did not have any role in selecting the artists. We just cultivated the whole process of it. Okay. We advised the panel and whatnot, and they came out with this artist that did it. He actually did it on panels he lives actually in South Palm Beach, and actually had to create them on the panels and then install the panels individually. I mean, it was a lot of work. But if I've gone by the Pride Center at Equality Park, it just it booms right out at you. You know, it's just so that's kind of an example of some of the things we do. Public art during the pandemic, people were not coming in here. The building was closed for a while. We knew people were nervous about coming in. So I said, well, we have to get out there. We have to get out more. And I used the model of residents at Equality Park as an example of that. We have been doing some things at some hotels and whatnot. And that really led us into working harder and stronger with the city of Hallandale Beach. The city of Hallandale Beach, we have a management agreement with them. We handle all their public art. And the city of Hallandale Beach wants Hallandale to kind of be like a Wynwood in a way. There's a lot of dilapidated buildings there. A lot of, when you drive down Hallandale Beach Boulevard, that's the gateway to the beach for them. And so we are commissioning with them murals. We've done about 4 murals so far. I'm talking large, massive murals from international artists that happen to live here in South Florida part of the time, which is nice. We have some people from Germany, Switzerland, Austria, but also some of them live in Hallandale Beach, some of them live here in Broward County, which is cool. We painted about 125 hydrants, which gave artists, money, gave them stuff for their portfolio, and really, when you drive around the city, you see all these painted hydrants. It's just so cool. It's just so cool. And we've done a couple movie nights with them. We did their food and wine festival. So ArtServe really, not only do we do stuff inside this building, but we also do a lot of things outside the building. We do all the art for AC Sawgrass, the Marriott by Sawgrass Mills. We do the Broward Mall, their public art. We do the Holy Cross Hospital. We did the Women's Heart Center public art, and now we're doing their main lobby public art. So it gives a chance for our artists to not only exhibit their art, to sell their art as well, which is what we do. What we do here at ArtServe is we teach artists the art of business. And part of that is understanding how this works. Every one of our artists always get paid. Everyone gets paid. That's part of learning the process of it. We teach them everything from how to build your portfolio, how to do social media, how to interact at a gallery opening. Sometimes when we have a gallery opening, you see some artists and they're there with their work and they're not really engaging. And during that, we'll talk to them and introduce them to people and get them to learn how to market yourself. And it's so important to do that. So public art has been wonderful for us. We're working soon with W Hotels, which we have worked with them before. And City of Lauderdale Beach, we're doing their for the Great American Beach Party, for example. We're doing all their public art exhibits and gallery stuff. So we have no shortage of opportunities. It's just there's only 4 full-time staff members here, which is it's kind of hard to believe for the volume of work we do. But it's great. It's great. So public art really has been an important part of a component of ArtServe. And a lot of people don't realize what they see is ArtServe sometimes. So we're trying to get better about that, of publicizing our own selves.
And I forgot to mention, we were on chatting before. You've also got your Black Box Theater. We came to a wonderful concert there with the Venetian Art Society and heard the amazing pianist that was there. So that's another whole facility that you've got. Come and utilize that space too. I forgot about that, Jason, as we were chatting before.
Yeah, that was great. That's an example of a rental and a partnership that we work with Venetian Art Society on that. Willie Riddle does some amazing, interesting events. He's actually doing his Pride series throughout the year here at ArtServe. So it's not just in June. It's going to be one in September, and I think one near the end of the year. So they're all going to be in the auditorium. And what's interesting, Dr. Steve, you've seen the auditorium. There's nothing in it. And what I love about it is it's just bare bones, black walls, nothing there. And then when an event is created, it just transforms into this magical space. We could have little lounge. It was like a lounge, like a salon for that event, for example. And then the next day there'll be like a fashion show going on. It's just a multitude of things. Church on Saturday, synagogue, church on Sunday, synagogue on Saturday. A bunch of things that people don't see that goes on through here. We have about 110,000 people a year that come through here. In a normal year, and that doesn't.
We like working with the Venetian Art Society too. You have a lot of visual arts. I was pulling that up too, trying to show that too.
Yeah. Also, another thing. I'm not sure if you attended, or I think you did, the National Coming Out Day. We partnered with Arts and Cultural Center Hollywood with Joy and the team there. They had open dialogue stories from the LGBT community, and it's a great idea of a partnership. They're in Hollywood, we're here. We try to work together in different things. And for National Coming Out Day, we had a great panel. I thought they were great, and what was interesting about it during the panel, there was a mother of a son, and they're Catholic, and he goes to a Catholic school, and she shared the story where her husband left her son because he came out as gay, and she stood up at the panel question and answer session and told us her whole story and said this is the first time she's ever told people in public that her son is gay and that she's not going to leave him. She's not going to let him leave behind. And if things like that can change one person, one family, then we're doing our job.
Now, this is Open Dialogues. This was a video created in partnership with ArtServe, and it's at the Art and Culture Center Hollywood. I've been down there to see it. It's an amazing, powerful video. The staff down there are utilizing it in different kind of educational settings in all different ways. And I would encourage anyone to go and see it. If you can look through, Chandler, if you'll scroll back down, or back up, I should say. There you go. Some of the people, Michael Goodman from Goodman PR, who's a good friend of ours, Gary Keating, who is Dr. Gary Keating, I'll get it correct, who is the director of the Gay Men's Chorus of Fort Lauderdale, are two that I know personally. Chandler, scroll back down. Omar and I have been friends for a while. Let's scroll back up, Chandler. Sorry. I know are people on the video, and they've all done a really fantastic job. And then Dan Bassett, who's the director of the Pride Wind Ensemble. So they've really got a great video with that. We really appreciate that project. What other projects do you have coming up, Jason, that you want us to know about?
Yeah, I was just going to mention one thing about, so Dr. Keating was on the panel with us, and credit goes to the Art and Cultural Center of Hollywood, because they're the ones that commissioned the project. We worked with them to try to get it out there. But they've done an amazing job, and there's actually a part 2 coming out that they've just filmed. That's pretty exciting. So we'll definitely do a similar thing like that. I mean, the goal is to get this film out everywhere it is. So our next exhibition, as I mentioned, I think it's June 17th, Friday, June 17th, there's a closing exhibition for Peyoki. And after that, in about 3 weeks, it takes about 3 weeks for us to take out, the art, bring in new art, install and whatnot. The next one's going to be a members exhibition, and there's a couple reasons for that. We don't have a title for it yet, but we've, since the pandemic's kind of coming to it's never going to come to a close, but we're kind of getting back to normal. And now artists feel comfortable. More people feel comfortable coming to public spaces like an ArtServe or Arts and Cultural Center. And our artists have been working on pieces over the last 2 years. We really want to give them an opportunity to display their art. So we're going to have a theme about it. We're working on that right now, but that'll be in July, August. And then in September, October, we're doing an exhibition on Latinx, which is a really interesting topic. And it's very controversial in some ways, because a lot of people don't believe in Latinx, don't think it's the term, they don't like. And we've actually had a lot of people, not a lot, but some people saying, why are we doing this? And that's the whole reason we're doing it, because we want to have that conversation, that exploration of how people feel. And we think it's important, for people to, it's art, and it's their personality, and it's their expression. And so that's coming in the fall. So members exhibit in the summer, and then Latinx in the fall.
Okay. You've always got things projected out on the calendar, and people can check those out on the website.
Yes.
Mostly we want to know, how can people help ArtServe? You have a members program and a Friends of ArtServe program. Chandler, if you could pull that up, and just if you can tell us about that and how people can help you out, your organization, and be involved.
Great. Yeah. So we have 2 programs. One, we have our membership program, which is for artists who would like to take advantage of some, part of the benefits are you get to meet with the curator for an hour consultation, get to meet with the marketing partnership manager for a consultation. They can meet with me anytime. Our operations manager to talk about how to set up their business. You get a discount on rentals for facilities and stuff if you want to have your own exhibitions, some of the studios or things like that, or rent the hall out. But also it's just priority invitations to members events. So what we do quarterly member only events. The last one we did was at the Easton, which is at the Marriott Courtyard, the new Marriott Courtyard on Federal Highway. Really amazing space on the roof. Really, really cool. We did one at Plunge Beach Resort and Hotel over in Lauderdale by the Sea. And we've done all over the city. We're trying to get people in different areas to meet. So you also get early access to our exhibitions, our openings as well. And basically you become part of the family. I mean, you come here anytime, use our creative hub, open up your laptop, walk around, talk to other artists, talk to us. That's the kind of creativity and collaboration we're looking for. Hey, if you're not an artist, and I am not an artist, we have something called Friends of ArtServe. And Friends of ArtServe are people like me who want to support ArtServe, want to support the arts, want to support the community, want to support our members, but aren't expecting those type of benefits. So their benefits are a little bit different. We do private events for them as well. It's more of a social network we're trying to build with them, like-minded people who supports the arts and culture. So that's under our Friends program. So it's artserve.org friends/friends. Is information on that, and I think we're on the site right now. Thank you. There's all different levels. You can give monthly or one-time, one-time donation a year. We have about 75 members now. We started a year ago with 0. It's a new program we started last year, so we're really excited that 75 people and families have committed to just supporting the arts here in Broward County. And the other thing that we really are looking forward and need is volunteers. ArtServe had a very robust volunteer program pre-pandemic, and a lot of our volunteers have not wanted to come back just because of COVID. A lot of them are a bit older. So we are really trying to get the word out there. We need volunteers. And when we say volunteers, you're not just cutting, invites out and stuff. We want people to be active and proactive and suggest ideas and really get in the nitty gritty here. So our volunteer base is something we could really use help with.
There's so many great ways for people to be involved, and it's a great organization in the way you build partnerships, the number of artists that you help promote and teach them so many really great skills. In addition to promoting, it's the skill development, and with the connections you make with, like you said, cities and parks and hotels and governments. It's the multiple connections with multiple layers that I've been so impressed with ArtServe, that the people are actually doing the art and the multiple types of art, whether it's music or whatever type it is. You've got a lot of different modalities of art.
We do definitely. And we had our first photography exhibition about 8 months ago. We've never had one here before. I mean, I can't believe in 35 years there was never a photography exhibit here. Next thing that we're trying to get into is more digital and film. But again, that requires more funding, hiring more staff. We're only limited. Our scale is only limited by the amount of funding we have coming in. We are a nonprofit 501c3. We get money from the county cultural division, as most nonprofits do here. Some from the state, but everything else is raising money from memberships, from our friends of ArtServe, grants, and donations and sponsorships. So we're out there in the battle.
And this is the year, as COVID is making a turn, and this is the year lots of people are out. Well, Jason, I've enjoyed talking to you a lot. We are excited. Where's my magazine? It's right here. This is my copy. It's got Stephen's copy written on the front because I always mark up one copy. This is my only clean copy. We're excited to have you on this month's cover, Jason. Chandler, bring up the website with the issue with the cover on. I wanted to show that before we close out.
Hey, Dr. Stephen, I have to tell you that I can't tell you how many people of all different walks of life have reached out to me, called, saw this issue, the breadth of your width of whatever the word I'm trying to use here.
Network
is incredible. People I haven't talked to in years that saw this, and not just here in Broward County, not just in Wilton Manors or Fort Lauderdale. I had a friend in Miami that saw it, and he's like, "What's this about?" So it's really amazing. Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you.
You really created a great network and a great distribution list, but also great content.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm on the cover.
This is our cover story with you on it. It's been really fun. This cover is so colorful and so indicative, I think, of the diversity of our culture, diversity of what you all do, and all of the different colors in the background. When we did the photo shoot and this came through, we all said collectively, yes, this is going to make for the best cover. Absolutely. I want to show to the issue.com, which is one of my favorite ones to share. I'm going to pull that up real quick as I'm doing this. Chandler's got it there. This is the issue.com too. So the whole magazine is on issue.com/outclick as well. And you can flip through the digital version if people want to look through it on there. Are there any fun stories that's come a result of being on the cover story, or just fun calls and texts?
Funny stories.
Put you on the spot. It's okay if not, but
it's just this most random people who picked it up and saw it, and it's I used to own a magazine as well, like you have, and I know what it's like. But I guess when people kind of think you're a celebrity, and I'm like, I'm not a celebrity. I'm just Jason Hughes running ArtServe.
Yeah.
But,
well, Jason, I've enjoyed talking to you and learning more about ArtServe. Is there anything I didn't ask that you want to share with us?
No, that's wonderful. Just thank you very much for all your support at Outclick. You guys do a great job, and it's wonderful partnering with you. And what I love about this community is everybody works together here. Mm-hmm. We really, truly work together. And I think that's just important because we're all here for the same common good.
Mm-hmm. My favorite part of what I do are the people that I work with. And I often tell people, if I didn't have people like you and everyone else as our clients and friends, I would very quickly do something else. We have everyone in the book are great people to work with. And I say that on camera as truth, because if not, I would do something else very quickly. But I enjoy the people that I work with. You, our Broward Center people, our Center people, our Kravis Center people, our bars and clubs people are wonderful to work with. Our healthcare enterprises, they are all really great people to work with. They understand when I send out that email about the print deadline, it's real. And I get it. I get responses back. But I appreciate what everyone does for us. And as you said, the community and the effort and what they give back to us is very heartwarming for me. And I appreciate that I've got a book full of really nice people to work with, and that's what makes my life enjoyable, and that's what makes enjoyable to produce. And that, honestly, that's been the key to our success, is all of the great people that work with us, because I couldn't do it without other great community partners and clients like you and everyone that's works with us. So thank you for being part of that team, Jason.
Well, thank you for your kind words, and thank you for everything you guys do.
Thank you. Again, this is Jason. Go down to ArtServe. What's the address again, Jason, there on Sunrise?
1350 East Sunrise Boulevard. We're basically on Sunrise, right across from the big Publix, right across the street from that, right at the corner of Holiday Park.
It's where, as we say, the Federal and Sunrise make the S.
We're kind of in the middle of the S.
Yep.
Kind of in the middle of the S.
Yeah. And they are artserve.org. Very difficult to remember, artserve.org. And we are outclick.com, OUTCLIQUE, also hard to spell and remember, but that's who we are. We want to thank you for joining us today and learning more about ArtServe. Go by, email, stop and talk to Jason and Jennifer in their shop. They've got all kinds of resources, exhibitions, and things to come. And again, get involved in our community. It's time to get out and be involved and be happy. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to what's to come.
Thank you.